Into our second match, it's DongRaeGu up against soO. I think this is probably the match of the night if I had to pick one.
Yeah, it's going to be on the the map that's coming in new here for Pro League for round 4 on OverGrowth, of course. And DongRaeGu, can he eke out a win against soO, a GSL champion? It's a big story here, but DongRaeGu, we just got to look at his stats, 8-8 here, as the only games he has played in Pro League ever. So very 50-50 with this guy so far out of this Zerg player.
Yeah, now he's up against soO. Old SK1 Zerg has been with them for a long time, has played about 120 games of Pro League in total, is 63 and 57. That includes his Brood War stats. Now in 2014, he's 6-3, pretty solid win ratio. 2-0 against Zerg, and was a GSL finalist, also a GSL Global Tournament quarterfinalist. I mean, this guy is on fire. His matchup against Protoss is insane. His matchup against Zerg is decent as well. So I look at this guy and I'm like, DongRaeGu, you've been looking a lot better recently, but I got to give the advantage to soO. I actually hope we get to see predictions on this one. We may not. I guess we're not going to, but I'm with soO on this one.
Yeah, as was I. I mean, this guy is so on fire along with the rest of his team.
Well, this is definitely anyone's match to take. It's on our new map, OverGrowth. Let's jump into game 2.
LTA는 SKT1.
Up here in the top right in the red for MVP, the Zerg player, it's DongRaeGu. And we're just watching this in slow motion, guys.
I think they might have set the game speed incorrectly.
Yeah.
It's starting to seem pretty likely.
No, man, this is just our June 1st, our June Fool's prank here. We're going to set all the games in slow motion.
Yeah, I think either that or there was a lag issue, a significant one. So I definitely think this will be replayed. Zerg versus Zerg can be kind of slow-paced at times, but not
like that, no.
So I don't know if I want to watch a Roach versus Roach max-out battle at slow motion. It would be certainly easier to commentate it than it normally is, but
yeah, we could see all the individual Roach's health go down slowly. We're like, okay, he's got to micro this guy back and go down. That would be pretty interesting, actually.
Well, sometimes when I don't have an observing PC when the Roaches are fighting, I'm like, no, show the hit points. How am I supposed to know? And oftentimes when I watch the Roach versus Roach max out, where neither player has a clear concave advantage, I just open the units tab if I have that opportunity. I just watch the numbers as they change, and then I figure it out that way. So.
Yeah. I think we're going to get a camera shot on a very interesting fan sign in the audience right now. It's I won't say much more until we get a shot of it, but we're seeing the camera get close to it, or maybe no, it's going at the other one.
We got a shot of a hair silhouette, by the way.
Sorry to build that up and have it not happen, but I thought it was going to happen. Maybe it'll happen later.
I saw that hair silhouette, man, and all I could think of is what's that hairstyle? And then we go into a commercial break. And it's
it's Electrode.
It comes back and it's slightly gelled up. I'm like, welcome back to Pro League. I'm like, it's Fohawk. Okay, only our analyst actually is pointing to DRG here.
Yeah, very interesting. I kind of want to see what he has to say about this.
I do as well.
We're trying to listen, but it seems like he was saying how soO's doing really, really good, but
yeah, I
don't know. I didn't hear the reason, but overall, a very interesting pick to go against soO. DongRaeGu was a very, very strong Zerg. He was on top of the world, won a bunch of championships, but then he kind of fell into a slump, and now he's trying to do better here at Pro League, trying to make his way into Code A, and I just have to say he's not really on the level of soO at this moment in time. Just straight up in standings and results even.
Yeah, no, you're right. He doesn't stack up just yet comparatively, so it's really hard to actually favor him in my opinion. But it's a Zerg versus Zerg. It's a new map for Pro League. Not a map that these players are not familiar with though, because it's been a WCS map for quite some time now, and a very Zerg heavy map. Usually picked against Protoss, but we do see it in ZVZ from time to time as well. It's just a map that Zergs like to pick, even against Terran players, it seems like. So a map that we see a lot of Zergs play on. DRG has a while to prepare. And thank you as well for coming down. He's got a Prime shirt on, repping it.
Awesome.
They'll be playing later.
He's going to be happy when they play later.
Yeah.
I hope they do well for him.
All right, so now we're back in. Game probably resumed from replay, I guess. And
actually, these guys have switched positions.
Oh,
MVP
you're right.
DongRaeGu is in the bottom left in the red. There he is.
Yep, and there's soO to the top right. So, yeah. Right, soO's sporting some whiskers down there on his chin.
Oh, really?
You see that? Oh, you've got to check that out when he comes on.
We got to get a zoom in on the player camera.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to see it until game's over.
I can't really see it now.
He's got some whiskers down there. Now, sorry, I just was thinking about soO, what soO would look like if he had a mustache, and I got a bit distracted.
I think he would look good, actually. If you look at his facial structure, he's got a decently sized upper lip area. I think it could work.
Yeah, no, for sure. What about DRG though? What if DRG had a Charlie Chaplin mustache?
Whoa, what's a Charlie Chaplin mustache?
You know, just the square that kind of covers the little area below your nose. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There was once a famous German dictator had some mustache
something
like this.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. DRG, I think he could pull it off.
I think he would either look good with long sideburns. I don't like the one that connects the sideburns to the chin thing.
The chin strap.
Yeah, I don't like the chin strap, but maybe a goatee of some sort could work.
Well, I think he could do the chin strap now if he has an afro. Now, if DongRaeGu has an afro, if he has an afro, I think the chin strap works okay.
Yeah.
But alas, no afro for DRG, and no Charlie Chaplin mustache.
The day we see a Charlie Chaplin mustache with an afro or a chin strap on any of these Korean players, the day we're watching StarCraft 4, man.
Yeah.
Things have to progress a little bit farther in the liberal side of things to get that far.
Well, if Merkmate is watching, I'm sure he'll show us what the future looks like. But otherwise, let's just continue the progression of these build orders, as it's been looks like a slightly greedier build for soO. He made 2 extra drones, it looks like, over DRG, who just went ahead and put the pool up as fast as he could. And you can see those 2 drones he's getting out now, so he's just a little bit behind on that mining. But his hatchery still coming up right away, so he's not going to be too far behind. We have a faster gas for soO here as well, so he's playing as greedy as possible, and it's really going to pay off for him. He's going to have a really fast early speed that he can use to control the map and get some early scouting.
Yeah, this is the unfortunate thing, especially in mirror matchups, when one guy goes pretty greedy, and the other guy, he plays kind of standard but doesn't do anything to punish that greediness. The greedy player is always going to get at least a little bit far ahead.
Yeah. Oh my god, he didn't check the gas? Oh. He thinks it's not there because he saw no gas mining, but it was such an early gas.
Oh my god!
That there just wasn't any mining anymore because he already got 108.
He's trying to save the Overlord before the Queen pops out, so he wants to get out of the main base, and that's so unfortunate. He's not going to be able to know that the gas was mined.
Yeah, I mean, normally when something like this happens, when he doesn't literally see it, you can say, well, maybe he saw this and that, and maybe he's got the sense to know. But in this case, I'm pretty sure there's no way you can actually assume that. He has no other information that would lead him to believe that Zergling speed is on the way. So he may actually be in a world of hurt if he tries to do something greedy here. If a bunch of lings get produced. Now, soO's Overlord was following that Overlord. And it's really hard to say if soO knows if he knows, because then you'd have to really know the vision of an Overlord radius pretty clearly. That's something we can't say with certainty. But he is pulling a lot of money. Okay, there's the drone going over. I was getting a bit worried he might just make a ton of lings with all of his larvae and do a big attack.
Yep. This is pretty interesting out of DongRaeGu. He's going to send 2 of his queens out here to kill this Overlord. He wants to make sure he has as little vision as possible at the front of the base. Let's see what DongRaeGu goes into. He drops 3 gas before 3rd base.
Yeah. And I wonder what his plan with that is going to be, because that's why he kills the Overlord, because he's like, if I can eliminate your vision, maybe you're going to be a little bit in doubt about what I'm doing. Okay, Roach Horn and Evo Chamber. One of which does get scouted. I don't think he saw the Evo Chamber, but I mean, you probably saw the structure before you could click on it, but it's pretty conclusive. You see 2 buildings like that, you can reasonably assume. Now, what we may see from DRG here is just a +1 Roach speed timing attack off the 2 bases, or even a 3rd hatchery with a little bit of extra larva, but a much more economic build here for soO.
Yeah, he's going to have that 3rd base out for a long time, and the big thing that's going to affect I feel like if this timing doesn't come to fruition and he doesn't do a lot of damage with it, soO is going to get so far ahead because he's going to have that third base up for so much longer than DRG. He's going to have so many more of those larvas and going to be able to produce so many more units. So we're going to have to see what DongRaeGu does exactly with this attack and if it can do enough damage, because if not, I feel like he'll be in a bit of pressure.
Oh my god, and he's going to probably lose a drone. No, he saves it. Ling not able to block him there. He will be able to push us away, I think, with the queens. Well, there's a lot more Lings coming down, and if he can deny that hatchery here, this would be huge. He's already working away at it with a few of his units, and not only could he maybe get the hatchery, but also these queens are a bit exposed. How many roaches does he have out right now? Looks like only 3, now up to 6, but this is a lot of Lings. He's getting his units right into the best possible place to minimize surface area. And I don't think soO's actually going to be able to get that hatchery. At least he decides not himself and backs away.
Yeah, I think he saw the roaches. He's like, oh, he's got roaches coming out. It's too late. It's not going to do damage. He's trying to run in the main base. No.
DRG really on point, though. Gotta say, really important wall block that he had there. Without that, those Lings could have come in and done some serious damage. But he's not only denied all the scouting of this until the last second, but is very, very careful and diligent about making sure these Lings don't come over and kill this third base. So all bases covered. No pun intended here for DRG. And now he's got the better roach count, so let's see what he decides to do with it. He's got roach speed about halfway done here.
Yeah, soO now just getting his lair a little bit later is going to get that roach speed as well. But like we were saying, with this timing, you know, with the roach speed, if he decides to go for it, could do some damage. But for now, just being a bit defensive there, the third base wants to hold off anything that soO can throw at him. And soO being very, very aggressive, actually, clearing the creep. Only 2 tumors right there at the front, but still being very aggressive, very active with those Zerglings. I really like it. Yeah,
very careful, you know, to make sure that he's at least doing something with his Ling investment that he's made. He doesn't want to just let them sit. That would be a lot of larva wasted. Now, DRG is actually up in drones right now, 60 to 53, but the drones of soO have been mining for such a longer period of time that he's also been able to now push himself up ahead in roach count. He's going to be hitting with +1 here, actually, before DRG even has his, and his roach speed should be lining up here pretty soon, too. So this upgrade advantage, plus the Lings he has to buffer, could actually be a really nice timing here for soO. Notice he's up about 30 army supply with all these roaches and Lings. And this is DRG's moment to hold. He's moving his spine crawler over here. He needs to get this set up and ready, because if this attack kills him, it kills his third base, the game ends.
It really does. The spine crawler is trying to burrow right now. I think soO is going to let it go down, but here he goes for the attack. The upgrade finishes, and he's going really, it looks like he just has way too many roaches right now.
It looks that way, Brendan. I mean, he's got a lot of roaches here to defend, but that upgrade advantage is really helping him push through. Plus those Lings that help tank at the front. That really, really hurts. And DRG's upgrades are getting probably pretty close to being finished. We don't have the production tab open, but I know they're on their way. But I think maybe too much damage has already been done here. Way too many reinforcing roaches here for soO. Now drones coming off the line to fight, and we know what that means. It means a dead Zerg most of the time, and this base is forfeit. Drones are going down. More Lings rallying across the map. The faster reinforcement here. A good effort by DRG. A solid defense in the mid-game, but this timing just really caught him off guard. He wasn't able to punish soO for taking that early third, and that's what those Lings for soO were for. GG.
GG. Very, very well done by soO. Very well executed timing there. And like you said, DRG just caught off guard, not able to hold it off. Like we were saying before, you play greedy and you get away with it, and you're going to have a big advantage.
I mean, soO just seemed like he knew exactly how he wanted to play his tempo-based style. Take a fast third, but don't drone it yet. Use that larva for Lings to control your opponent's third, and then when you're comfortable to have you keep your drone count low, but you still have better mining than DRG, eventually you're going to overwhelm him. And that upgrade advantage, he was able to identify that somehow by continuously constantly checking DRG's upgrades, seeing the Evo chambers with those Lings, and saying, I think I'm going to have an upgrade lead here. I've got this timing. I definitely am going to have more roaches. And those Lings are really what allows him to do this, because if DRG moves across the map with his roaches that he has out early because he took a late third, he might be able to punish soO. But if soO's attacking him, his roaches have to be at home, and that's just that's what those Lings are for, and that's very important. That even